Hello student, today we will discuss about operating system structure. It is easier to create an operating system in piece much as we break down larger issue into smaller, more manageable sub-problem. Every segment is also a part of the operating system. Structure can be thought of as the strategy for connecting and incorporating various operating systems. Different type of structure: simple structure, monolithic structure, layered approach structure, micro-kernel structure, exo-kernel structure, virtual machines. First of all, simple structure. It is the most straightforward operating system structure. It is also appropriate for use with tiny and restricted systems since the interface and degrees of functionality in this structure are clearly defined. Programs are able to access input-output routines, which may result in unauthorized access to input-output process. This is the graphical representation of simple structure. Then example, MS-DOS operating system. These are the points. Please note down which is under MS-DOS operating system subpoints. Then we will come to the advantages of simple structure. Because there are only a fewer interface and labels, it is simple to develop. ये जो simple structure है, it is simple, very easily develop कर सकते हैं. Then, because there are fewer layers between the hardware and the application, it offers superior performance. The disadvantage इसका क्या है? The entire operating system breaks if just one user program malfunction. Since the layers are interconnected and in communication with one another, there is no abstraction or data hiding. इसमें data hiding नहीं हो सकता है. The operating system operations are accessible to layers which can result in data tampering and system failure. These are the points which is the cons or disadvantage of simple structure. Please note down. Then we will discuss about monolithic structure. The monolithic operating system control all aspects of the operating system operation, include file management, memory management, device management, and operational operations. These are the points of monolithic structure. Please note down in your notebook so you can prepare well for your exam. The monolithic operating system is often referred to as the monolithic kernel. Multiple programming techniques such as batch processing and time sharing increase a processor's usability. Working on top of the operating system and under complete command of all hardware, the monolithic kernel performs the role of a virtual computer. This is an old operating system that was used in banks to carry out simple tasks like batch processing and time sharing, which allows numerous users at different terminals to access the operating system. This is the point, and this is the graphical representation of monolithic kernel system. First of all, application monolithic under the monolithic file system, network subsystem, memory management, process management, drivers are undergoes in monolithic kernel. At the last, hardware. Then we will see about the advantages of monolithic kernel system. Monolithic structure. Because layer is unnecessary and the kernel alone is responsible for managing all operation, it is easy to design and execute. It is easy to design and execute due to the fact that functions like memory management, file management, process scheduling, etc. are implemented in the same address area. The monolithic kernel runs rather quickly when compared to other systems utilizing the same address, speed up and reduce the time requirement for address allocation for new processing. Disadvantages क्या है? The monolithic kernel services are interconnected in address space and have an impact on one another. So if any of them malfunctions, the entire system does as well. It is not adaptable. Then layer structure. The OS is separated into layers or levels in this kind of arrangement. Layer 0, the lowest layer, contains the hardware, and layer 1, the highest layer, contains the user interface. These layers are organized hierarchically with the top level layers making use of the capabilities of the lower level ones. The functionality of each layer are separated in this method and abstraction is also an option because layer structure are hierarchical. Debugging is simpler. Debugging मतलब जो एरर फाइंड करना और सॉल्यूशन करना ये सिंपल होता है. That is a lower level and the debugging before the upper level is examined. जो लेयर लेवल है वो उसका ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऐसे होता है. लोअर लेवल लेयर 0 contain hardware, layer 1 to layer n contain user interface. Then we will see about the advantages of layer structure. Work duties are separated since each layer has own functions and there is some amount of abstraction. Debugging is simpler because the lower layers are examined fast. Disadvantages क्या है? Performance is compromised in layer structure due to layering. Construction of the layers required careful design because upper layer only make use of layer capabilities. Then we will see about microkernel structure. The operating system is created using a microkernel framework that strips the kernel of any unnecessary part. System and user application are used to implement these optional kernel components. So microkernel is the name given to these systems that have been developed. Each microkernel is created separately and it is kept apart from the other. As a result, the system is now more trustworthy and secure. If one microkernel malfunctions, the remaining operating system is unaffected and continues to function normally. Then we will see about the microkernel structure graphical representation. Then we will see first of application IPC, device driver, Unix server, file server, basic IPC, virtual machine scheduling, hardware, at the last hardware. This is the graphical representation of microkernel operating system. Then we will see about the advantages of microkernel system. It enables portability and operating system access platform due to the isolation of its microkernel. It is reliable and secure. The reduced size of microkernel allow for successful testing. The remaining operating system remains unaffected and keeps running properly even if a component or microkernel fails. Then disadvantage. The performance of the system is decreased by increased inter-module communication. This is the disadvantage of microkernel structure. Another disadvantage is the construction of a system is complicated. इसमें जो कंस्ट्रक्शन करेंगे एक सिस्टम वो लिटिल बिट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होगा. Then we will see about exokernel. An operating system called exokernel was created at MIT with the goal of offering application level management of hardware resources. The exokernel architecture's goal is to enable application specific customization by separating resources management from protection. Exokernel size tends to be minimal due to its limited operability. Because the OS sits between the programs and the actual hardware, it will always have an effect on the functionality, performance, and bandwidth of the apps that are developed on it. Then the goal is to give a developer as few restrictions on the use of abstraction as possible while yet allowing them the freedom to do so when necessary. Because of the way the exokernel design, a single tiny kernel is responsible for moving all hardware abstraction into unreliable libraries known as library operating system. These are the features of exokernel operating system: enhanced application control support, split management, and security apart, brings up a low-level interface operating system for libraries, provide compatibility and portability. Then the advantages of exokernel structure. Application performance is enhanced by its accurate resource allocation. New operating system can be tested and developed more easily. Every user space program is permitted to utilize its own customized memory management. Then the disadvantages of exokernel structure. The disadvantage of the exokernel system is a decline in consistency. Exokernel interface have a complete. Then we will see about virtual machines. The hardware of our personal computer, including the CPU, disk, driver, RAM, and NIC, is abstracted by a virtual machine into a variety of various execution contexts based on our needs, giving us the impression that each execution environment is a separate computer. A virtual box is an example of it. These are the points of virtual machines. Please note down. These are all are very important for exam. Then we will see about the another points of virtual machines, short for VMS. We can develop a virtual machine for a variety of reasons, all of which are fundamentally connected to the capacity to share the resources. Disk systems are a fundamental problem with the virtual machine technique. If the actual machine only has 3 disk, driver board need to host 7 virtual machines. Let's imagine that it is obvious that it is impossible to assign a disk driver to every virtual machine. Then advantages of virtual machine due to total isolation between each virtual machine and every other virtual machine, there is no issue with security. A virtual machine may offer architecture for the instruction set that is different from that of actual component. Simple available accessibility, recovery convenience. The disadvantages is depending on the workload operating numerous virtual machines simultaneously on a host computer may have an adverse effect on one of them. These are the disadvantages of virtual machine. Please note down. Another point is when it comes to hardware access, virtual computers are less effective than physical ones.